Hello everybody, welcome to Sunday Night is Organ Music Night. And tonight is, well, it's Sunday night, so there you are. Tonight is Sunday night, and we've got a few things to get through tonight, starting off with, well, yesterday was St. David's Day, wasn't it? The national day for all our Welsh friends, and I got a lovely email earlier from Jez to ask if I could play that, and I didn't have that one on the programme. I had another Welsh tune on the programme, but let's do that one. What a wonderful cracker that is, yes. Guide me, O thou great Redeemer, cum ronda. I hope I'm rolling my R's in the right way for that. A wonderful, I'm going to say my second favourite Welsh hymn. My proper favourite one is the other one. High fried oil and all that kind of stuff. Hyfrydol, which is a wonderful tune as well. We might play that later, actually, just for the fun of it. Now, it's not just Welsh time. In a couple of days' time, it's also Cornish time. So we'll have some Cornish music later as well. I'm going to do neither a Welsh accent nor a Cornish accent. I'm not sure I'm very good at either. Certainly not sober, so I'm not going to bother. I'm not even going to bother trying. Actually, I'm still suffering a little bit from the old mouth ulcer down in the corner there. Another good reason not to be rolling my R's around the place. Too much. Anyway, right, good evening everybody, and welcome to Sunday Night is Organ Music Night. Lovely to see you all here. I will say hello to you all in a second. I'm armed with a selection of hymn books this evening, and we have some requests, some tunes from around the world. If you have any spontaneous requests yourself, please send them to, pop it in the old chat there, gang@gartshore.de, and we will see what we can do. Look, it's the Brown Book of Magic. Brown Book of Magnificence, the Book of Browns. František says, oh, please do accent at least the goons' voices. Well, we'll see. We shall see. Oh, my telephone's about to fall out of my back pocket. Anything exciting here? 5 messages creeping into... All right, well, we'll have a look at that in a minute. Nothing exciting. Now, for those who don't know, the Brown Book of Magic is actually, for better or for worse, whatever you fancy, it's the hymn book of the Jehovah's Witnesses, believe it or not. And they've got the most amazing music. I would love to take some of these tunes and put slightly different words to them, but I'd probably be burnt at the stake if I did. So I won't. But it's rather wonderful, and unfortunately it doesn't tell us anywhere in this little book who wrote these tunes. It doesn't tell us any of the composers, and I would love to meet whoever the composers were, because it's absolutely bloody marvellous. Particularly this one. This is number 57 in the book. I don't know if we've ever had number 57, but it's wonderful, and it's basically called Happy People. It's actually called Jehovah's Happy People, or God's Happy People, God's Happy Folk, I suppose you could say. And it's wonderful. Check this out. Stand up and march around your living room, kitchen, dining room, west wing, hall. I don't know what part of your accommodation you are in at the moment, but I suggest you get out of the comfy chair and go for a stamp around the room for this one. It's a bloody good march tune. Check this out. Yeah, rather grand march, that, isn't it? We should give it a new name. We should call it something like, I don't know. I was watching rubbish on I was watching rubbish on YouTube the other day, and in between all the rubbish on YouTube came a wonderful thing popped up, and it was an interview from ages ago, from the 50s, I'm guessing, and it was Eleanor Roosevelt, of all people, talking about the wonders of the United Nations Week. She was being interviewed for that, and it's a wonderful reminder of bygone years when people talked properly, people spoke properly. And Mrs. Roosevelt had a wonderful way of talking, a wonderful accent, a very slow way of talking. And I was sort of thinking, you know, they really should have marched her into some music whenever she was doing one of her speeches. And this is the kind of, I think we should call it the Eleanor Roosevelt March. Does that make sense? Let me get rid of some of the bright work on this. The brightness is Uza there. Let me get rid of some of the brightness on here. But yeah, I think we should call it something like, I don't know, is that a good idea? Let's call it, I don't know, just picture her with her very old-fashioned grey hair marching on stage at some podium when she's about to speak, and the orchestra strikes up with here's Mrs. Roosevelt to talk to you all. I don't know, it just has that something to it, doesn't it? Anyway, right. Those are the things that go on inside my tiny mind from time to time. It's quite frightening, isn't it? What's this? Something, a request by Mendelssohn. Ooh, is that playable? I don't know. Let's load it up in the old machine there and have a look later. Probably not, but it might be. Right, let's look at that in a moment. Splendid, splendid. Now, while I got my email from Jez earlier today, and Jez didn't just tell me it was St. David's Day yesterday, it's also his brother Jonathan's birthday, or was, sorry, his brother Jonathan's birthday. So let's sing happy birthday to Jonathan. And happy birthday, dear Jonathan. Yeah, that fits. If you don't want to sing the full 3 syllables, you choose a shortening of Jonathan that you prefer. I don't know if Jonathan likes that kind of thing. Probably not. But let's have a happy birthday for Jez's brother, Jonathan. There you are. A slightly Welsh flavoured version of Happy Birthday there. David! David. Sad news from David's family there, from the Wood family. I'm sitting listening with Susan, the daughter of the late organist Vivian White, who is planning her mother's funeral. Any chance of Blaenwen later? Yes, definitely. Let's do that. In fact, let's do it right now. Let's do it right now. Number 300 and something. Who knows, but off the top of their heads, I don't, because I'm too old to remember. Oh, it's number 400 and something. All right, ignore me. 408. 408. Full organ at the end. I don't think that would be a problem, David. Let's see what we can do. Shall we start off with the very gentle stuff as well? Yeah, let's do the very gentle stuff. This is a wonderful organ. We're in Görlitz tonight, which is way over in the east of Germany. It's about as far east as you can get before heading into Poland, basically. Or is it the Czech Republic? No, it's Poland, isn't it? It's on the Polish border, Görlitz, I think. This is a huge organ in a church there. It's enormous. It's actually, the real organ is even bigger than this. This is just the sample set version of it. The real organ is even bigger. There are many more stops to the real organ. They might one day end up in a version 2 of the thing. It's a big 4-manual organ. The top manual is called the Hauptwerk, which I won't translate. And it's got sort of nice, sort of Baroque kind of. And it's got the most amazing reed on it. It's called an oboe, but it doesn't sound like an oboe. It sounds like a... It sounds like one of those. Remember those synthesizers from the 70s with that sort of metallic spinety things there. I think that's rather cute. Anyway, it's got some weird stuff up there, which is kind of cute. That's that manual. Now the swell, this manual here, it's very French. So it's got these lovely strings, which actually aren't very French. But full swell is just bananas. Let me do full swell for you and show you what I mean. It's great. Plenty of that coming up in a moment. Then there's the Oberwerk, which is like it's like the choir division. It's not the Hauptwerk. This is the Hauptwerk down here, believe it or not. It's not that. So this is a lovely manual with a big sort of principal chorus, even a nice big trumpet. A very bright mixture. And all sorts of goodies. And then there's the Hauptwerk, the great organ, which is just huge. If I give you all of this here with the 16, 8 and 4 reeds, that's only half of it. It's and of course there's an enormous acoustic. But something that this organ has that very few organs have, is it has on these 3 manuals here, it has a celeste sound, which means you have pipes, and then you have pipes out of tune to make it sound all sort of nice and undulaty. And there's even one called Onda Maris, which literally translates as undulating, and it's a great sound. And there's even one on the great, and you can have all of those lovely sort of undulating sounds together, which is just beautiful. There you are, a brief explanation of what I'm about to do. It's a grand sound, isn't it? It's a grand sound indeed. So, David, to Vivian White, may you rest in peace. Cheers. Yeah, there's something about a good Welsh tune. Nobody knows why and how, but isn't it wonderful, the Welsh tunes? They really are wonderful. They really are wonderful. I wonder, there's bound to be an explanation for it somewhere along the line. So one of these days we'll be able to work it all out. Isn't it wonderful though? So there you are. So I hope, is David still around? Is David still around? I hope that was okay. I recorded everything we're doing tonight, so that might actually be a keepie. I quite enjoyed that one myself, dare I say it. And I think that might be a keepie indeed. We are thankful. Molly's life will be celebrated, and she joins Vivian in eternal rest. Gosh, there you are. Thank you. Well, David, thank you for this. Thank you for the request, the spontaneous request, and all the best to all of you. All the best to all of you. Difficult times. All the best to all of you. Ah, right. Exciting. Is the organ loud enough for you? It's absolutely deafening in my luggles, so it must be deafening over there. I'm looking at the microphone meters as well, and it's right up at minus. It's going to the limiter, believe it or not. It's right up at, my limiter is set to, let me have a look. Any clipping you hear is actually not all this equipment here, it's this. It's Hauptwerk itself, because Hauptwerk is set up in a weird way. Any clipping you hear is within there. It's not my streaming equipment. That's all set up broadcast style with a broadcast limiter. Where's my bloody limiter? There it is. A broadcast limiter in there set to, very professional here, set to minus 0.1 dB, which means it cannot clip, all right? What I'm sending out there cannot clip in the digital world. However, Hauptwerk can clip, and there were a couple of little clips in there, but that's just the audio there, so don't worry about it. Ian said my sound was turned down. Yeah. Probably a very, very good idea. It's a loud instrument, this, it really is. Actually, something, I can share the screen with you. Would you like to see the screen of this instrument? I can show you some of the stops. Oh, wrong button, hold on. Oh, it's that one. Sorry, wrong button. There you are. Right, this is the, don't worry about the stuff that's missing at the bottom there. That's just some controls from Hauptwerk, so don't worry about that. I will leave the ticket link up. Go and buy a ticket, folks. This is a wonderful instrument. So here's the Hauptwerk, which is the bottom manual. Then there's the Oberwerk, which is the second manual. The Schwellwerk, which is the third manual. The Brustwerk, which is the fourth manual. And the pedal, which is obviously down with the feet. Now look at the size of this. I'm not going to count the stops. There's a million of them. If anyone wants to count them, take a screenshot and count. These ones here, these are not stops. Anything that is grey is not a stop. But these yellow ones are the Hauptwerk, these red ones are the Oberwerk, the blue ones are the Swell, the Brustwerk are the greens, and the oranges are the pedal. It's all very colour coordinated, isn't that cute? We even have some little toys. There's a Cymbalstern, which is basically a C major tinkly bell. There's a drum, which isn't actually a drum, it's pipes, sort of speaking and then not speaking. There's a nightingale. Takes a while to warm up. I don't know how they got the nightingale to do that, but I know how they did this. Vogelgesang, that just means bird song. And that's actually something from the theatre organ world as well. That's just a couple of pipes in a little bath of water. And when they sound, they're just sort of blowing through water. A kukuk. A kukuk is, believe it or not, a cuckoo. Takes a while. There he is. Isn't that cute? Anyway, there you are. A very interesting instrument. So we've got all these lovely stops. Let's look at this one on the grate. A viola da gamba, which is a lovely solo string stop. I wish I had a viola da gamba like that in my little organ. I don't. This thing here called the fifaro, this is a very, very old stop from Baroque times. And this is actually, if you listen carefully, oh my God, can you hear that? It's actually tuned higher. So here's a principal sound, the gross octava. Sounds like something from a Mel Brooks film, doesn't it? The gross octava is with the fifaro together. They sort of give this undulating effect in a principal style. Isn't that cute? And then on this manual here, this second manual, we have the same thing. There's an onda maris, which is actually, oh my God, you can hear that. That's tuned flat. Can you hear that? Here's a normal sound again. And then this one. Wow, that's tuned way flat. If you mix that with the principal, it gives that kind of sound. Now, if I do the same thing on this manual, this one's tuned slightly sharp. That one's tuned slightly flat. If I now mix them together, if I couple the OW to the HW, that's the Oberwerk to the Hauptwerk, then I have two principal sounds, the gross octava and the principal. I have a tuned, a stop tuned flat and a stop tuned sharp. So now I have three different pitches all at once. Which what gives that lovely, lovely sound indeed. Actually, there's a lot of things here. This could be Mel Brooks's The History of the World Part 3 or whatever it was called. We've got gross octava and fifaro. And here we have vigesima nona, whichever one we're talking about. And then I suppose there's the little one here called Glücklein tone. It's weird, isn't it? We even have a super sedicima. And a quint nasal. There's all sorts of weird and wonderful things here. Anyway, down on the pedals where the real fun stuff, a 2-foot reed on the pedals. There's the bottom C. So we have a 2-foot reed, a 4-foot reed, an 8-foot reed, a 16-foot reed, and a 32-foot reed. That's 5 octaves of reeds on the pedals alone. It's a crazy instrument. It's completely over the top. Absolutely wonderful, I think you will agree. Just magnificent, it really is. It can do it all. Now, let me just quickly go over to this screen here. Might as well show you this. These are the sort of the inner workings of Thingy-Bob. Here's a picture of the console, all right? So a huge 4-manual console with all these lovely stops. He's even given us a picture of the bellows. I don't know why he did that. Never mind, let's ignore that. If you have dual screens, you could have stops on the left, stops on the right. You could have all the stops like that. I find that very difficult to read, so I use this one. But this is the important one. This is where you can sort of play around with the sound. Let me go back to a certain registration. These are my little colourful registrations. Let's go to a biggish registration. There we are with full swell. Let's go to this one called Mixer and Noise. So what you can do is, the organ has been sampled with microphones at the front and microphones at the rear of the church. So what I can do is I can actually do this. Actually, there are diffuse, direct, and also, it was sampled in 3 different positions, I think. So what I can do, I can turn the rear of the church off completely. Now you can already hear that's a very direct sound, can't you? If I turn this one all the way to diffuse, I like that. That's a good sound on its own. That's like you're sort of sitting down in the church. Now this one over here, if I take this all the way down to direct, it's like you're sitting inside the organ case. Very unnatural. And then we have the rears, which would be full rear, which is microphones right at the back of the church. Sorry, hold on a minute. I need to get rid of that rubbish as well, don't I? So there we are. So if you were listening to a concert at the back of the church, this would, you know, be this kind of sound. Yeah? So that's a bit diffuse for my liking. So I tend to have it sort of in the middle here. I pump the pedal up a little bit there, and I have this round about the middle. In fact, I think we'll make it more diffuse for the next one. I like that. That's a good sort of mixture. Let's have slightly more diffuse. Yeah, how about that? All right, so this is the joy of Hauptwerk. You can sort of sit and play around with these things for 1,000,001 years to get used to what's going on there. It's great fun, and it takes forever. It takes forever, ever, ever. Ever, ever, ever. Great fun. Right, back to the music then. Let's attempt some classical music, shall we? Our friend Alexander has just sent me something. FB, do I use something like a touch screen? Yes, this is actually a touch screen, but I don't like using the touch screen. He said picking up an iPad and touching the screen. No, because I much prefer to use the mouse. This is a touch screen. I could do that, and I do, you know, when I'm playing the organ, because it's almost impossible to reach down to the mouse and do that kind of stuff. But yeah. Now, what is this? Alexander has requested something by Mendelssohn. Oh my goodness me. And it's, as usual, difficult to sight read. At least I think it might be. Let's have a look. Actually, it might not be that bad. Let's have a go. Alexander Wunderlich, our friend from, shall we say, northern Bavaria, northwest Bavaria, shall we say, has sent me this piece of music to try. Now, this is interesting because Alexander gave me this organ as a birthday present on my 50th birthday. This was not a freebie. Well, it was to me, but Alexander bought me this sample set for my birthday a couple of years ago, which was incredibly kind of him. Thank you, Alexander, once again. A beautiful instrument. I don't play it often enough, that is true. But let's play something by Felix Mendelssohn Bartholdy and see what we can do here. All right? And by the way, I spotted that our friend FB, it's his birthday today, so we'll come back and do that, do a happy birthday after this. This is a piece of music in D major. I'm just looking at it and thinking about it. As Morecambe and Wise said, been doing that a lot lately. And is it sight readable? I don't know. It might be. It might not be. Shall we find out? Let's have a suitable Mendelssohn style registration. I'm going to go with... Actually, no, I'm not. I'm going to get rid of that and that. Yeah, we're going to have lots of flutes. Lots of flutes, and actually let's have a 4-foot flute to go with that. No 4-foot flute there. Yeah, let's do that. That sounds nice. Sort of a very soft and gentle sound. Let's see what we can do with this then. A bit of Mendelssohn. I like that. Thank you very much, Alexander. That was a sight-reading attempt at a piece of music by simply called Andante from our friend Mendelssohn. And I'm willing to bet, actually, that Mendelssohn made it to that church at some point in his life. He may even have played that organ at some point. Who knows? Years ago, I played a concert on... actually, I've played a few organs that Mendelssohn has played, now that I come to think of it. But I played an organ concert at a church down near Frankfurt on an organ, a one-manual organ with a bunch of stops right in front of your nose. And some of the stop signs were written in pencil. They're little sort of sheets of paper on the little organ stops. And it was written in pencil. And Mendelssohn had apparently played that organ in the past at some point. And they always went on about that. It was always about Mendelssohn organ, blah, blah, blah. It's a beautiful old instrument. Quite limiting in what you could play, but I actually ended up playing a jazz concert on it, believe it or not. And it worked surprisingly well, which was interesting. It had one stop on the pedal, and then you could couple everything down. That was it. Lovely instrument, though. Anyway, there you are. My useless connection to Mendelssohn. I've also played various instruments in the UK that Mendelssohn played, including a very famous instrument that Mendelssohn played that I'm not going to tell you about. By the way, I forgot to mention this. By the way, if anyone gets this, I will launch into the music in question. My socks this evening, you can't see them. Let me, there you are, now you can see them. Right, does anyone recognize the artist of which these socks are sort of pertaining to be? Anyone recognize that artist? If you do, in the chat there. Now, extra points if you know what form of music, what type of music, what genre of music that artist was an absolute aficionado, lover, and mad keen on about, if you know what I mean. That was too many words, wasn't it? But you know what I mean. If anyone gets that, then I will play some of that music towards the end of the concert. Ha 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 ha. Right. Edward Hopper? Who the hell is Edward Hopper? No, definitely not Edward Hopper. Right. Now, I said earlier, it's not just Welsh this week. It's also Cornish this week. So, our friend Jeff from Cornwall. Oh my God, let's try this one. No, let's go back to that one. That's much easier to read. Actually, is it easier to read? I'm not sure it is, actually. Let me try that one again. No, let's have that one, and we'll transpose it. It's written in A major, which I hate, so we'll transpose it to A flat. Oh, John Castle has got it right. Mondrian. Yellowbird says modernism. Mondrian, if you get his first name, I will give you an extra point. If you spell it right, I'll give you an extra point again. Yes, Mondrian is the correct guy. Mondrian with his cubism. David got it. There you are. Pete Mondrian. Let's. Now, what kind of music was Pete Mondrian into? Does anybody know? Anyway, while we're doing that, for our friend Jeff, that's Jeff Ryle, by the way. Now, Jeff Ryle appears this evening as Jeff, not Joe. Non-Joe said Jeff. Okay? In the last couple of weeks, Jeff has had a Latin handle here on YouTube, and a lot of people thought it was Joe. Because Joe sometimes translates his name. Joe is just good old Joe Humans tonight, but sometimes Joe translates himself into Latin things. And a lot of people kept thinking that the Latin stuff in the chat was Joe, when in fact it was Jeff. So this is, Jeff reached out to me the other day and I replied and told him this. So that's why he's obviously changed his non-Joe, said Jeff this evening. David Miller. Mondrian liked Boogie Woogie. Well done, David Miller. You're absolutely right. He was mad keen on Boogie Woogie. And anecdote coming up and some Boogie Woogie music coming up in a moment. After this one, I'm going to say hello to the people in the old chit-chat. And then I'm going to go and have a look over here and see if people have been putting a penny in the old man's hat. One or two of you have. Thank you very much. More on that in a second. Here is a Cornish tune. What a cracker. What a brilliant tune. What absolutely brilliant. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. A good sword and a trusty hand, a merry heart and true. King James's men will understand what Cornish men can do. And have they fixed the where and when, and shall Trelawney die? Here's 20,000 Cornish men will know the reason why. And shall Trelawney live, or shall Trelawney die? Here's 20,000 Cornish men who will know the reason why. Now you know. There are more verses. I've got a lot of verses here. This must have been the version that Jeff sent me with all the verses. Lovely. Wonderful stuff. Yeah, what a cracker. What an absolutely cracking tune. Right, a brief hello to you out in the world of Chatland. There are 120 odd of you, it says in the chat, but I have better numbers than that. There are 127 of you currently concurrent in the chat. Concurrent, I love that word. Let's go back to Bodensehorn, who was here. Hello, Ingo, lovely to see you. Nice to see you here. Ian is here. Hi, Ian. Rasbaz is here from sunny Switzerland. Mike King is here from somewhere. Alexander is here, of course he is. There is. Robert is here from New Jersey. Urza is here from very western Bavaria. Or is it still Hessen? No, it's still Hessen, isn't it? Anyway, Adrian Morris is here from London town. Julian is here from Shreveport, Louisiana. Look at me with all my locations. Cam is here from Maryland. Joe is here from South Carolina. František is here from Trebich. Aren't I good? John Castle. Who's Eleanor Roosevelt? I beg your pardon. John Castle, where are you from? I don't know where you're from, John Castle. I do apologize. Adrian Morris is still there. There's Jeff. That's Vanessa downstairs. Vanessa's downstairs talking to the dog. Jez is here from sunny Wales on Sea. Jeffrey Ford is here from Edgware. Hi, Jeff. Who else have we got? Let's have a quick look, see I'm not missing anyone out. Darius is here from Poland. Hello, Darius. That's lovely that you're here. David is here. Hello, David. I don't know where you're from, David, so maybe you can pop that in the old chit-chat again. That's David Wood, by the way. Who else is here? Monica is here from Ohio. We know she's from Ohio. Where about in Ohio? North Ohio, I think, isn't it? If I remember correctly. Or slightly more northern. Our friend Jerry is from southern Ohio, but never mind. Anyway. David Stevens is here. David Stevens, where are you from? I should know that. It's not reaching out at me. FB, we're going to do your birthday in a minute. Hello, FB. Actually, FB, tell us where you're from. You're from a very exciting part of the world. Lucian is here from Texas. Yes, yes, yes. I said Ian is here. Ian's from Dingwall, which is my dad's old hometown. So there you are. Well, he lives in Dingwall. He's not from Dingwall. Aren't you from somewhere like Linlithgow? Wasn't it something like that? Anyway, never mind. Tim is here from Australia. Hi, Tim. Who else is here? Let's get through the list. Are we missing out on anyone? Checking out if there's any new name. If you're in the chat and I haven't said hello yet, then say hi. Opus 3 is here. Where is Opus 3 from? He's from Germany somewhere. Where are you from, Opus 3? You know, I honestly don't know that. Down south somewhere, isn't it? Southwest? Georg L is here. George L is here. Is it George or is it Georg? I'm not terribly sure. There's John Castle again. Where are you from, John Castle again? Julian Cleek is here, also from Wales. There's David Miller again. There's Julian Cleek again. Right, any new names? Let's get down this list. I really need to get my eyes tested again. Tracy is here. Hi, Tracy. Where are you from, Tracy? There we are. Northeastern Ohio. Right, now we've got it. Here we go. Perfect. David's in Bedfordshire and Susan is down in Bournemouth. Right, wonderful. John Drake is here. John, where are you from? John, there's Neville Palmer as well. Tell us where you're from. We want some internationality here. David Ross is from Ontario. Yes, we better know that again. And Steve is here from Newark in Nottinghamshire. Splendid. And not Newark in New Jersey. Tim McLaughlin is here from Lichfield. Tim of Lichfield. Wonderful. Yellowbird is in the Royal Borough in the Royal County. Right, Yellowbird, thank you for your request. I've got it here. It's coming up at some point soon. Andrew Prince is here, and he's going to be in North Yorkshire next week. My commiserations. Sandra is here from somewhere. Tracy's from Texas. FB is Fabio from Switzerland. There we have it. Sandra's from Canada. Neville's from Cambridgeshire. Who else do we have? Jonas is here from Darmstadt. And Robert Varner is buried in Brooklyn. I didn't know that. There you are. Wonderful. Wonderful, wonderful. Right, lots of you there. That's exciting. Windsor in Royal Berkshire. There you are. Well, whatever we're talking about. Lots of people from lots of places all around the world. Isn't that exciting? Wonderful. Jonas is from Darmstadt. I have a cousin, well, a second cousin, in Darmstadt, believe it or not. One of my dad's cousins lives in Darmstadt. Joe is from what? How on earth are you supposed to pronounce that? I wouldn't be able to pronounce that. Marcus B. Hello, Marcus B. He's from Connecticut. We know where Connecticut is. Wonderful. I haven't been in Connecticut since... When was I in Connecticut? 2005. 2005. Anyway, never mind. Right, let's have a look. People have been buying a ticket or two this evening. Alexander Wunderlich was first off the line this evening. Thank you very much, Alexander. Stefan was also very close there. Who this? Lucian. To keep the music playby, the organist has to eat after all. Yes, that's true. And baby needs new shoes. Actually, she's running out of shoes. That's a good point. Thank you, Lucia. That's very kind. Who's this? The Operating Room Studios. Ah, I know who that is. That's our friend John Drake, isn't it? Ah, yes, it even says it is here. Thank you for the birthday concert. This is for... wonderful. Thank you very much, John Drake. That's very kind. Thank you very much indeed. Who this? Opus. That's Opus. Thank you very much, Opus. That's very kind. Here's... Who this? Rue. Oh, Rue is here. Rue's not in the chat tonight, but Rue is here. Thank you for your ticket, Rue. That's very kind. Ta. Hold on. Where's Rue? There's Rue. Who this? This is Andrew. Simply to say thanks. That's what we want. Thank you very much, Andrew. That's very kind indeed. Oh, hold on. We've got some people lined up together here. Jerry. There's our friend Jerry. There's our friend Jerry. There's our friend Jerry. Hold on. I clicked something away there. Ah, that's where I clicked away. There's Jerry. Thank you very much indeed. There's Jez. Thank you very much, Jez. Here's our friend Jörg from Switzerland. Thank you very much, Jörg. Here's Jez again. Here's Jez again. That's an extra thank you for playing Happy Birthday with Cum Ronda attached to it. Oh, I like that. Right, I'm going to do that more often in that case. So thank you very much. Lovely. Thank you very much, people. Thank you very much, folks. Thank you, friends. Right, what have we got over here? We had, hold on, what's this? Something here. The Platts Gang have contributed on the wish list. Thank you very much to the Platts Gang. Yeah, there's two things on the wish list, I think, at the moment. We're saving up for some more tangible goods. So thank you very much for that. And also, actually, I must also say thank you to Christian and thank you to Tobias, two people who have ordered my music, copies of my music, that's my organ works, Fraser Gartshore's organ works and Piping Hot at the Organ, scores and CDs of which are once again available for sale over on the website. And Christian from down south and Tobias, also from down south, have been active over there on the website. So thank you very much to both of you, should you be listening in. And I wish you lots of luck and fun with the music. And if you do decide to play any of it, record it and put it on YouTube and let us know, which would be great fun. Oh, right, people are sending me more Cornish tunes here. Is that what I think it is? It is, isn't it? Yes, it is. Well, I tell you what, because it's the Cornish Day coming up during the week, I'll save that one for Friday. All right, so Peter, I'll save you one for Friday. Actually, David's is not. David's is a Welsh tune. Oh, actually, yes, I played this one not that long ago. It's in here as well, I think. I think it's in here as well. Let's have that. Let's have that. This is a cracker. Is it in here? I'm sure it was. Oh, it wasn't. It wasn't. So what book? It's in one of my books. Anyway, well, hold on. I think I just popped it over here, didn't I? Did I just pop it over here? I did. There it is. So let's have this. It's for David Miller. Thinking of Welsh tunes, how about this? Same meter as Hyfrydol. Well, here's a thing. A lot of the Welsh tunes fit the same meter, and that's 8787 double. Is that right? Yes, there it says it there. 8787 double. So what does 8787 double means? Well, dum 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 dum, or da dum 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 dum. That's 87. Da dum da 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 da. Okay, that's 8787, and then that twice. Okay, so the number of syllables, the number of syllables. Calon Lan, I'm not sure how you pronounce that at all, but around the Lord in glory seated. John Hughes, 1872 to 1914. Sounds like a public domain number to me. Thank you, David Miller. Let's play this for you. And also a quick thank you on the way past to David. David W. Thank you, David W. A ticket there to say, oh, yes, we played Blind Man for you. Thank you. Yeah, lovely. Thank you very much. Thank you. Keep them coming. Silly bulls. That's right, Joe. Here are the silly bulls. Round the Lord in glory seated. In a beautiful key of A flat major. What on earth is that? That's Vanessa with our cleaning device downstairs. I'm guessing a pure heart is what this means. Thanks, David, for letting us know. We have a machine that doesn't just hoover. It's not just a hoovery sucky thing. You put water in it as well, and it cleans the floor. We don't have carpets in the house. We just have tiles and here, what do you call it, laminate flooring and things like that. German houses tend not to have carpets. So obviously the dog's taking a piss somewhere downstairs, and Vanessa has got the electric mop, I call it, out to clean that up. There you are. Useless information from the Gartshore household. belter. What a belter, belter, belter. I do apologise about the noise downstairs. It's a disgrace. Noise pollution. Maybe the dog didn't just have a piddle downstairs on the floor. Susan! Thank you very much for your ticket as well. Thank you very much, Susan from Bournemouth. Thank you very much indeed. Lovely. Ta. And there's a little baby crying as well. My goodness, it's all go down there. Let me turn the microphone off and shout gently downstairs to my darling wife, the Duchess herself, who is up to some nonsense. Hold on a sec. Anyway, while that's going on, I held up the big green checkbook there. I say checkbook, that's CZ, not CHE, CZ. Here, Mr. Checkbook, if you can come up with a number for me, I will gladly play something for you. And while we're thinking about that, here's a German hymn. Yellow bird, do they eat a lot? What are you talking? Let me turn the microphone off again. Back with you in a second. I'm not I'm not going to tell you what's going on downstairs. The language that just came up the stairs is non-repeatable. Let's just say there was a bit of an accident involving, well, what do little children do if they eat too much? Yeah, there's a little accident involving that, closely followed by a dog going, yeah, something exciting, and then having a party in said mess. And so on and so on. And I'll spare you the rest of the details. Something along those lines. Anyway, never mind. So poor old Vanessa has been, let's just say she's very, very stressed. So when I go downstairs in about half an hour's time, I get to hear all about it. Wish me luck. O Jesu, all mein Leben bist du. Number 377 in the German hymn book. Mike, thank you very much. A ticket on the way past from Mike as well. Thank you. Very well. And as our friend who said it, Robert said it, a disaster a day keeps the sanity away. You're absolutely right. And somebody else said something about carpets. Steve said, be thankful you don't have carpets. Yes, that's very true. Yes, be thankful we don't have that. Georg, does somebody knows if Fraser already played the Vidor Toccata and F? Yes, I did, but not tonight. Is it? Shall I play it on this organ? No, it's not the right organ for it. I don't think it's registered for this organ. Hold on, let me have a look. Do I have registrations for it on this organ? I don't, funnily enough. Do I have registrations that would fit? Is the question. I don't either. Sorry, Georg, not tonight, as they say. Maybe, I was going to say maybe on Friday, but Friday's Lent, isn't it? Wednesday's the beginning of Lent. So we shall have a look. Oh, I see, Mike's ticket is for Vanessa. All right, I will tell her. Thank you very much, Mike. I will pass that on. Right, František with his enormous checkbook. Here, this is a German hymn book. This is what German organists get to play from, all right? And when you open it up, you have, can I show you that? Can you see that? You can't really see that, it's not in focus, but it's just a melody and nothing else. You make up your own harmonies, basically. Jonas, did you say something about Boogie Woogie? I did say something about Boogie Woogie, indeed. Right, Francie, what did you say there? You said 500 plus, 700 plus, or 800 plus. Well, let's go from 500 plus and see what we can find. I'm on 517, actually. No, that's an A major, sod that. That's a German one, we don't want that. Yeah, that'll do. Something, a rhythmic one. A weird rhythmic one. Actually, that reminds me of something from, a comedy show. That reminds me of, pause. What does that remind me of? Something from the Carol Burnett show. Tim Conway did something funny. Can anyone think what I'm trying to think of? My brain won't let me work it out. What am I thinking of? Tim Conway from the Carol Burnett show doing a really funny sketch and going something rhythmic. What is that? And somebody losing it as well. But anyone who was in a sketch with Tim Conway lost it. Tonight's drink of choice, ladies and gentlemen, is some mineral water of the Italian variety with some multivitamin juice in it because I don't have anything else to put in here. What number did I choose? I chose 518B. Something about Bourget, which is God, I know that. Ha! I know that word. I'm not sure what the rest of it's about. Right, you tell us what it is. It's number 518B. I'm not going to tell you who the composer is, or I'm not. And František, don't you dare tell anyone who the composer is either. There's a reason I'm not going to tell you who the composer is, just for sanity more than anything else. The wackiest ship in the army. Is it that one? With Harvey Cortman belting it out as well. No, it wasn't that one. What is it? I'll work it out and I'll let you know, Joe. I'll let you know. Right, it's actually, it's an F major. I was getting it wrong. It looks like it should be an F minor. Right, check this out for the rhythm, okay? Number 518B in the enormous checkbook. What a wonderful piece of music. I love pieces of music that have abrupt rhythms. I love that. I love that. I've no idea if I played that even vaguely right. Yellowbird. A super chat from Yellowbird. Thank you very, very much indeed. Lovely. Tar. Yeah, what a wonderfully interesting piece of music. Wonderful harmonies. Some of the harmonies I played were even the ones written in the book. Some of them weren't. Some of them were mine. What a wonderful tune. This is an amazing book, and it's so easy to read. Wolfgang pointed out that there are different versions of that book there. That's true, but all of them are printed on, well, they're printed on what's basically tracing paper, and it's absolutely impossible to read at the best of times. Now, the other day, our friend, where is it? It's here somewhere. Where is it? It's here somewhere. There it is. Our friend Yellowbird sent me a piece of music, and talking about small writing, the writing in this is so minuscule, I'm going to need a telescope to read it. And then I realized what it was, the piece of music. Now, it's a very, very famous piece of music indeed. And it should actually be sight readable. I don't think I've ever played this. Just for fun, try using Google Lens for translations. Oh, I use my brain for translations. But yeah, I suppose we could. Now, our friend Yellowbird sent me a piece of music by the legendary pair Gilbert and Sullivan. Mr. Gilbert, a very, very proper gentleman. Very, very proper gentleman. Nothing wrong with him at all. Very proper gentleman, very, very correct in his ways, very God-fearing and law-abiding and so on. Not so Arthur Sullivan. Arthur Sullivan was a bit of a gambling addict, and most of the music he composed was to pay off his gambling debts. And if he ever won anything gambling, he would then spend all the proceeds on getting massively drunk, which is absolutely hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. And yeah, Sullivan was apparently quite a difficult character to work with, very unreliable. But an absolutely marvelously wonderful composer if you got him on a good day. However, he wrote some amazing tunes to Mr. Gilbert's other words, and Gilbert rescued a girl from drowning, I think. Did he indeed? Gilbert the lawyer, says Jez. Right. Well, I don't know very much about Mr. Gilbert, because apparently he had a very, very normal and correct life, and that's just not interesting, is it? We want to know about the rebels of the world. We want to know about all that kind of stuff. All the fun and games. Right, Lucy has joined us and Celeste has joined us. Good evening to both of you. Thank you very much for joining us. Anyway, the Gilbert and Sullivan team were of course famous for operettas, or whatever you want to call them, little musical plays. And some of them were very, very famous indeed. And they, even to this day, command sell-out audiences wherever they perform these things. And in universities, they have Gilbert and Sullivan societies where they learn these things and perform them and have fun with them. Personally, I have never been the greatest fan of Gilbert and Sullivan's stuff. It's just not my cup of tea. I understand the fun of it and all the rest of that, but it's not my cup of tea. However, when I was at university, I was asked to perform piano for they were doing a sing-a-thon. All the Gilbert and Sullivan things are sing-a-thon, and they were just going absolutely constantly. They never stopped until they finished. And I think they had 3 or 4 piano players involved, and they asked me if I wanted to do it, and I said yes. I said yes. For some bizarre reason, I was in the middle of a million jobs at the same time. I was absolutely exhausted. I fell asleep when I should have been playing. That's how exhausted I was. But the only reason I wanted to do it was because I kind of fancied one of the girls who was in the society, whose name I cannot remember. My performance during that thing was not admirable in any way whatsoever. I bashed through most of it sight reading, which is okay because that's not difficult music to do at all. But like I say, I fell asleep during one of the performances when I think I should have been on the piano. Thankfully, my colleague who was sitting next to me brushed me off the stool and took over. I was exhausted because I'd been on tour with a band. And I'd come home and I thought, oh yeah, I've got to do that. Put a good word in for me, I might get somewhere, And, well, yes, the rest, as they say, is history. What was her name, I wonder? I can't remember. Anyway, here is one of the most famous of the Gilbert and Sullivan numbers. And it's one of the... it's so banal and simple. It's good. It's good. The melody, there isn't really a melody. It's basically just 2 notes. It's absolutely bananas. The Major General. I think you know which one this is from. Ha! Something like that. The pirate shit his pants. Yes, the pirate pissed his pants. That's the one. Thank you, Lucian. You're right. Sorry, yes. Sorry, I immediately saw pants and thought shit. So there you are. Yes, if you're going to send me copies of music to play at site, please send them that they're legibly large, all right? I'm of an age now where fly poop on a savanna of paper is not really sort of legible. It's readable. If I had my glasses, it would be readable at this distance, which is quite good. It's minuscule. It's fly poop on paper. I was playing that mainly by ear, believe it or not, and trying to read the harmonies at the same time, so it didn't quite work. I apologise, Yellow Bird, but thank you nonetheless for sending it. It's a fun piece of music. It's more fun. The melody isn't much fun. The words are the fun part. If I could read them to you, I would. I am the very pattern of a modern Major General. What? The information... What? Major General. I've... Information, vegetable, animal, and mineral. I know the King of England. I know the Kings of England, and I quote the fights historical from Marathon to Waterloo in order categorical. I'm very well acquainted too with matters mathematical. I understand equations, both simple and quadratical. About binomial theorem, I'm teeming with a lot of news, with many cheerful facts about the square of hypotenuse, that's the one. God, this is so tiny, nobody can read this. With many cheerful facts about the square of hypotenuse, with many cheerful facts about the square of hypotenuse. They've written that in such a way it's impossible to read. Many cheerful facts about the square of hypotenuse. Hypotenuse. What? There's a thing missing there, a syllable missing. There's a silly bool missing. Anyway, right, enough of that. I'm not going to read that to you because it will take forever. The words have more significance for their era. Yes, well, sometimes it's good to let history remain history. Anyway, moving swiftly onwards. Oh God, it's midnight. It's gone midnight, which means I turn into a thingy. Julie! Hello, Julie. Where's Julie from? Do we know Julie? Thank you, Julie. Julie has popped in a ticket there. Thank you very much, Julie. Thank you very much. No message to it. Thank you. Where's Julie? Where's Julie from? Do we know anything about Julie? Square of the hypotenuse. Yes, I know what the hypotenuse is. I was trying to get it to fit in the rhythm there because it's a bizarre rhythm, you see. Anyway, I was very good at maths in school. Very good. I had a very good teacher. In later years, crappy teachers at the beginning, very good teachers later. There was one particular maths teacher in question. He arrived late in my school years, and he was a pompous little twerp, but he really fancied himself, and he was having a go at everybody in the class one day, and he decided he would have a go at me for no reason whatsoever. And I thought, right, sod you. And somebody said to him, I said, oh, you want to be careful, you want to be careful. You want to be careful, don't have too much of a go at him. And he sort of said, oh, I don't care. And he didn't know that my mum was a teacher in the school as well. And, well, let's just say my mum had a word with him at some point, and he became, there's a wonderful German phrase for this, when someone is being put in their place. It says, he was this size with his hat on. He was that size with his hat on. She certainly put him in his place that day. I wonder what his name was. I can't even remember his name. Right, it's gone midnight, and I promised you, thanks to Mr. Pete Mondrian and the Boogie Socks, I promised you some Boogie Woogie, which should actually work on this organ. Let me see if I've got... I do have some jazzy registrations here. Let's see if they will fit. That'll do. That'll do. That'll do. That'll do. Yeah. Does it get bigger than that? Does it get bigger? Does it get bigger than that? I suppose we could just sort of build up to that, couldn't we? Yeah, let's go for it. All right. Yes, Pete Mondrian. Years and years ago, I was already living in Germany. And I was invited to play with... I can't remember even who the band was. Anyway, I was invited to play with a band. Can you come and play a Boogie Woogie concert for us? And they didn't tell me anything about it. I said, yeah, sure, all right. And they said, name your price. And I thought, well, they're doing it in the art gallery, the fancy art gallery. So I thought, all right, I'll put in a maximum price. And I did, and they accepted it. I thought, damn it, I should have put in a bigger price. Anyway, never mind. So I turned up, and it turned out this was an exhibition of Pete Mondrian's work. And the whole thing was going to be based around Boogie Woogie, because he loved Boogie Woogie. And there were all these sort of toffs and posh people from Düsseldorf being one of the richest towns in Germany. And all these sort of really posh people turned up, and here's me bopping away Boogie Woogie in the background. And we had a wonderful time. We had an absolutely great time. And yeah, it was really good fun. I met some very, very interesting people that night. And a couple of months later, I was invited to the 80th or the 90th or the 120th birthday of some old guy from the Westdeutschland Rundfunk, which is like the sort of the West of Germany BBC, if you like. This was this old guy who used to work for the WDR. He was one of the Tonmeister, I think, one of the sound, head honcho sound engineers. And he was a real wonderful Boogie Woogie aficionado. And I'd known him for over the years anyway, because we played boogie together. But he was at that thing in Düsseldorf, and he said, "Oh, you must come to my 80th birthday party." So we did. I turned up at his 80th birthday party in Cologne. And I was sitting at the piano. There was, towards the end of the evening, there were about 5 people who also wanted to sit and play the piano. There was lots of people there. I think Axel Zwingerberger was there as well, the big boogie guy from Germany. And who else was there? A few other people. But highlight of the evening was I was sitting at I was sitting at the piano, and I was bopping away boogie style. And there was a band in the background, drums and bass and guitar and that kind of thing. And we were really going for it. And this guy came and sat on the organ, on the piano bench, sat on the piano bench beside me and said, "Can I join in?" I said, "Yeah, go for it, help yourself." And he started bopping away with the boogie, and we did a sort of swap around from the left to the right. And he did the left hand, I did the right hand, I did the left hand, he did the right hand. And we swapped, and we played 4 hands and all the rest of this. And we were having a great time, laughing our heads off. This was absolutely wonderful. And at the end, I said, "That was bloody marvellous, wonderful. Who are you?" And he laughed and he said, "Oh, my name's Karl-Heinz." I said, "Hi, Karl-Heinz, I'm Fraser, lovely to meet you. What do you do?" And he laughed and said, "Oh, I'm a composer." I said, "Oh, wow, what kind of stuff do you compose?" "What kind of stuff do you compose?" He said, "I'm Karl-Heinz Stockhausen." which was absolutely wonderful. And it turned out he loved Boogie Woogie. Can you believe that? And he lived in Cologne, Karl-Heinz Stockhausen, lived in Cologne. And I met up with him on a few occasions after that, and we just had, we were out for lunch a couple of times. We had some crazy stuff, and did some crazy stuff. And every time we met and there was a piano nearby, we sat down and played Boogie Woogie together. So for all the weird and wonderful music that Stockhausen is famous for, I sat and played boogie with him. He was the loveliest, most down-to-earth person you could ever imagine. His son is not. Anyway, right, never mind. Boogie Woogie on the organ in memory of Piet Mondrian and Leo von Knobelsdorff, that was the guy from WDR, and Karl-Heinz Stockhausen, all of whom are sadly no longer with us. Yes, playing Boogie Woogie on an organ is the most energetic thing I do. Celeste, thank you very much at the end, our final for this evening. Thank you very much. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that was Sunday Night is Organ Music. What a bizarre collection of tunes that was tonight. Yeah, join us through the week for some extras, and Friday night is Organ Music Night. Now, it's Lent, which means Carnival is over, which means we sort of calm down and get ready for Easter. Well, we might do that on the Sundays, but certainly not on the Fridays. We're going to have fun. Now, it's going to be a really, really lovely sunny week here in Germany, all week apparently. So, if you have any sunny requests, please send them over so I can put them in for Friday night's program. I already have a request for Here Comes the Sun. I already have a request for that. And I have a request for this one, which I think is wonderful, Mr. Blue Sky. What key is that in, Mr.? I was playing that in G flat major. It is in F sharp, isn't it? That's not how it goes. Where do the chords go? Yeah, that's it, I think, isn't it? That kind of stuff. Anyway, there we go. So, sunny tunes for Friday. If you have anything with sunny in the title, or a sunny idea, or something positive and all that kind of stuff, send it over and we'll have that for Friday night's concert. Until then, I wish you a wonderful week. Don't forget, it's pancakes on Tuesday and ash on Wednesday. So, don't mix the two up. And yeah, see you on the other side. Night, night, everybody. Thank you very much. See ya.